Hello, everybody. Welcome to the crypto chart update for October 12th, 2017. Guess what? We broke 5,000. Woo! Oh my gosh. What a day. A historical moment. Everyone mark your calendar because we broke the $5,000 mark on Bitcoin. Now, the other coins, not doing as hot, but overall, we're extremely bullish right now. And today we're going to make some targets and discuss where do we take profits and how far is this rally going to go and what do we do now that everyone's in the game, everyone's making some profits. Where do we take those profits? We're going to look at all that today, and this is the crypto chart update. My name is Tim and I am a trader, formerly in options and stocks, still doing that, but really excited about the crypto space and the leverage we can get from these crazy volatile moves. And I am also a journalist, sometimes doing some Bitcoin stories here in Berlin. That's why my name is Berlin Trader 591. You can follow me on TradingView or Twitter at Berlin Trader 591. Guys, please support me by clicking the affiliate links below to my favorite wallets and software programs. You know, all the things that I advertise, I do use myself, so I can highly recommend them. Ask me any questions you might have, and send a little cut my way when you hook up to those services. Also, this video is brought to you by CryptoKing.org, which is a great resource for the latest crypto news, as well as these videos, which are on the front page. So thank you, Crypto King. We love you. Without further ado, let's get into the big break. 5,000 on Bitcoin. Here we are. We've been waiting for this really since the crash after the last time we hit 5,000 and the end of August, right? The market crashed down to 3,000 and we saw a very robust pushback. Remember those two big candles? That's like a pipe bottom in candlestick terminology almost, right? Or a counterattack, you could call it as well. Basically, we have one giant red candle and one giant green candle, and that means that this huge blowout sell was met with a huge amount of buying. And that showed us on that one day, right? That was the big sign that on that day we had a lot of volume coming in, and that showed us that buyers were ready to step in a big way. And based on that signal, we knew that we were probably going to reattack those highs at 5,000, and that's just what we did. We didn't really stop there anywhere. We didn't stop for a break. We didn't stop for a bite to eat. We just drove all the way to Kathmandu up to 5,000, and we just broke through that today. And that's a really exciting moment. You know, to be honest, I really wanted a little bit of consolidation underneath that level and then a breakout, because that would have given us a little more strength. But as it stands, it looks like a pretty strong breakout. The volume is higher than average. It's not incredibly high, but it's higher than average. The RSI is hitting that overbought level above 70, and that's a great indicator, the RSI, that the strength, the relative strength, is high because we're above 70. So we're in a very bullish mode right now. We broke out of a big level. I mean, it's been basing for a couple of months. And if we fall back tomorrow, back into that range between 3,000 and 5,000, that's a pretty weak sign, and we're probably going to need some more consolidation. But based on Bitcoin's history and how we've broken out in previous moments just like this, like back in August we broke out and we just went all the way up without much of a break to a crucial level, 5,000. And now we've broken 5,000, so what's the next crucial level? Where are we going to see another pullback? Every time we get to a big level in these crypto coins, we always see this big crash because everyone takes profits and there's really no one to step in and buy at those moments. So where are we going to see that? Well, how do we make a target? Well, we don't have any resistance levels because these are all-time highs. We just have a lot of air up there. And I think now that we've broken 5,000, we're going to see a lot of banks or government stepping in and saying things about regulation, and maybe some hedge funds publicly opening up trading desks. Maybe we'll see coverage initiated in some sell-side analysis. So I think we have a nice run ahead of us, but the question is, where does it stop? Well, we use our Fibonacci levels to give us a target, and we take the top of the last consolidation range to the bottom of the last consolidation range, and that gives us a target of 6,126. So that's the 161.8 retracement of Fibonacci level, and that's our first target. And that is often hit, guys. I mean, that is really a target that is reasonable, and until it reaches that target, I'm not going to take profits. My stop right now is under 5,000. So if we do come back and break 5,000 with a candle that holds under that 5,000, I'll consider taking a hefty amount of my profits off the table. But until we reach that target, I'm really not thinking about taking profits. So it depends what your time window is, right? If you're playing the day trade, then you might not want to wait that long. But I'm playing on the daily chart. So I'm playing a few days or a few weeks moves, because you just get more bang for your buck there, and things are a little less volatile. So if you have to go to work, like I still do, right, then you don't have to worry about a small crash during the day. Maybe you have to worry about a bigger crash, but a small crash is not going to kill you. So the bigger your time frame, the less volatility you have to face. So our first target is at 161.8 Fibonacci level. The second target is this next line, which is the 200% level. So that's the measured move target. Basically, the consolidation range was about 2,000 points. And if we take that measured move right up to the next, if we add 2,000 points to 5,000, we get 6,871, or basically 7,000, right? Now, it's very nice that these levels also match up with round numbers, right? So the first round number is basically 6,000, and the second round number is 7,000. So we have a lot of targets converging, and that's a really good sign. 161.8 Fibonacci level is also around 6,000, so we can take profits around 6,000. If we take, let's say, 50% of our position off the table at 6,000, we can hold another half of the position for the second target. So when it reaches 7,000 or 6,800, we can take our next tranche off the table. And at the same token, if we see a good consolidation pattern, like if we see a flag pattern going sideways a bit under 6,000 that looks healthy, well, then we might even add to our position, because we know that things look favorable for a breakout to 7,000. We can capitalize and kind of leverage up on that breakout. So we make our targets with fib levels and measured moves, because we don't have any resistance levels, and we watch for new patterns in between those levels that maybe give us signs of strength, and we can add some more to our position. However, if there's a weak signal, then we might want to take off our position. But right now, everything looks bullish. All signs point to rising prices. There's really no clues that a bubble's going to burst. And to be honest, I've never seen a market, also looking back historically, if you look at all the crashes in history that have charts, there's always a sign. There's always a pullback and another attempt at a new high that's weak, and you can see that weakness with the RSI, with the MACD, or whatever indicator that you're using, or the moving average kind of turns over, right? It kind of rolls over sideways. All these are signs that there's weakness, but right now, all the signs point towards strong bullish momentum. And I've been pounding the table about bullish momentum for the last month, and I've told you, like, get in. It's gonna hit back up to 5,000. Are we gonna break? I don't know. Well, it turns out we did. That's pretty exciting. That's pretty strong action. Let's check out the other coins and make some similar predictions. You know, the other coins, I like that they're holding back, right? And we talked about this at the last update. The coins are, a lot of the coins are behind Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is breaking out before everything else. What does that mean? Well, that means that everyone is putting their money into Bitcoin. And to be honest, I wish I had put all of my Ethereum into Bitcoin last week, because Bitcoin broke out and not Ethereum. But I think Ethereum, Ripple, and Dash, and Litecoin, and a lot of the altcoins, I think they're going to have their time in the sun in the next couple of weeks or months as well, when Bitcoin starts to pull back and people start to take profits, because they'll move those profits into the other coins. So Ethereum is just consolidating sideways. We're looking for that breakout, which I predict the pink line here, and it looks fine. It's just kind of heading sideways in a consolidation range, and the moving average is on the way up. This blue moving average is 200-day moving average is showing an upward trend, so looks healthy. Litecoin, that looks great actually at the moment. You know, last time I said Litecoin looks weak, and it still looks a little weak, but to be honest, it's hit this support trend line and it's bounced very nicely. So if that bounce continues, based on Litecoin's history, we could see one of those kind of parabolic moves up and maybe then another crash. But you know, Litecoin looks all right now. It might be a nice place to accumulate. So add a little Litecoin if you feel. If we look at Ripple, you know, a lot of people message me about this pattern, this long consolidation pattern. Yeah, I still think it looks good. We have price breaking out and holding that trend line, and if it holds it, I think it can break out. Again, I think it depends on money coming out of Bitcoin and flowing into Ripple, and if that doesn't happen soon, it might break back into that range. That's not a it's not a game ender, a game-changing. It's not going to kill the trade, but it would be a sign of weakness, and it might be a good time to put your stop maybe under that level. And if we break that level, just wait for the pattern to develop. I still think it's going to break out, but maybe not today. However, we haven't hit the stop yet, so still above the stop. And just check out anything else. Hey, Clam, actually, I wish I had gotten into Clam. I saw that happen. Clam's like an altcoin that's a little interesting. We had this broadening pattern, which means the upper trend line and the lower trend line were kind of going apart from each other, and it broke out of that pattern, and we're holding that support range right now. That's really great. I think we could easily pop up there. So another little altcoin to maybe diversify your portfolio of ICOs. And if you want to play a kind of a fringe coin, a little more volatile than Bitcoin, then Clam might be a good one right now as well. And let's check out Bitcoin Korean Won. You know, I like Bitcoin Korean Won as a leading signal. Number one, more Bitcoin is traded in Asia than in the US, so we kind of get a tailwind or a headwind from Asia, and seeing that it's also trading before Europe and America, that's also interesting, because that means we will get moves earlier in the day when everyone's sleeping in the States. So I think keeping an eye on that Korean Won is a great idea. And the Korean Won broke out yesterday, and the Bitcoin and US dollar broke out today. So there was a lag there of 12, 24 hours. And now Korean Won is popping up even more. And I really think we're going to have a feedback loop here in that this breakout, my prediction is that it will be bigger than the last one, because maybe it is a bubble, but we're still in bubble mode, guys. People are coming on to the idea of investing in Bitcoin. People are making shitloads of money, and they're telling their friends, and those guys don't want to miss out. And fear of missing out is one of the behavioral mechanisms that you can see in a bubble, right? Fear of missing out is why these prices pop so quickly, because everyone wants to get in at the same time, because no one wants to miss that 50% move, right? To double their money. So a lot of FOMO in Bitcoin right now, and that's really great if you're a calm technical trader and you know what's going on. You're not just jumping in trying to make a quick buck without knowing why you're doing it. Finally, we have Monero. Monero looks nice as well. Just like Ripple, it's kind of going sideways in a pennant pattern and looks like it's going to break out soon. And if we put a Fibonacci level on that, we take the consolidation range, for example, like that, we would have a target of 196, which is right around that 200 round number. So a psychological level of 200 combined with the Fibonacci level of 196. And that's a great target because we have two levels converging gives us a strong target. You know, I said I would look at targets. Let's look at Litecoin quickly. If we take the top of that range to the bottom of the range, we could do it from several different, people say, well, where do I do it from? Well, you can be more conservative or more aggressive. You can take it from the body of the candle or from the tail of the candle. I usually do the tails for the true high to low range, but it's a little more aggressive than just doing the bodies. But here we would have a target of 138, around 150. Again, round numbers and Fibonacci levels close together gives us a stronger target. Ethereum, again, looking at our target. What's the target going to be? I've already done it. Top of the range to the bottom of the range. And the target is around 562, 570, which is about a 20% move from a breakout of 400. But it's not a lot, really, in the land of cryptos, right? 20% move is a smallish move, and you can make some serious money on these guys. And today I wanted to go over targets using Fibonacci levels and psychological round numbers. Keep an eye on those. When you approach those, you'll often see a pullback, and you can gauge the strength of a move depending on how price reacts around those targets. If price holds near those targets and consolidates, then you might see another leg higher, like a stair-step pattern. But if price hits that level and crashes down, well, that's kind of a weak sign, and it might be a strong resistance level. So this is a pretty cool day. I'm really excited. I drank a lot of coffee. We broke 5,000. Just be sure about your stops. Set your stops at a sensible level, right? Not a random level. Just set your stops at like 5,000 and stick to it. If it breaks, it's okay. It will break out again someday. But if it keeps going, watch your targets and don't get too greedy. Take your profits early. It's one thing people don't do. They just let it sit there forever. If you're long term, I have some long-term Bitcoin and I'm holding it for however long. But if you're trading and you're an active trader, don't be afraid to take your profits early. Okay, guys, gonna stay up to date with these coins as they move. When we get some interesting stuff, gonna try and post more often. Until then, peace.